To see you next Tuesday. Today we are lucky to have Adam Palmer with us. He is a finalist for the...
Well, I was a finalist for the BBC Radio Can Make a Difference Award, so I was one of the finalists for the Fundraiser Award, and yeah, it was amazing.
And tell us a bit about your fundraising, how you got there.
So I've been fundraising for about 8 years, and I started off doing a fundraiser for St Thomas Hospital. So when I was 15, I was hospitalised, and so I done a little fundraiser for them, only raised a few £100, and then just went through different things like that. So, and then eventually, I'm now a trustee for a charity called Legend on the Bench, which is a suicide prevention charity, and I've been a trustee since October 2023.
That's amazing. Tell us about your benches.
So the benches, they're amazing. They are put in parks and surrounding areas, and they are there for people just to sit on if they wanted to. But they are a suicide prevention bench. So on these benches, it has phone numbers for Samaritans, Minds, and they're solar powered. So over an evening when it's dark, they light up. And the awareness that it spreads is phenomenal. I sat on the bench that I've got for my foster son. I was sitting on there one night, and this big guy come up to me, and I thought he was like, what's he after? And I was just sitting there, and he's like, "You all right there, mate? How'd you feel?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel good. You all right?" I'm like, I'm fine. And he went, yeah, how's your mental health and everything? I was like, "Yeah, all right." Like, why are you asking me that? It's a bit weird. And then the reason he was asking me because he knew what the bench was all about. So he thought that I was sitting on it because I was struggling, but I was sitting on it because of obviously how close that bench is to me. I was sitting on it just an evening, I had a walk and thought I'd sit on the bench. And then I chatted to this guy for probably about an hour and a half. Wow. And then it turns out that he knew one of my friends who sadly took his own life about 18 months ago.
How hard was that though, to ignite a conversation with someone generally interested?
Honestly,
like, are you okay?
Honestly, it's mad. Every time I walk through the park where the bench is, the amount of people, if I sit on it, would approach me or just go, "Are you the guy that..." Because I was in a local newspaper for when I had the bench revealed. "Are you the guy that got this bench?" It's like, "Oh, is it Jake? Is it Duke? What's his name? Is it Jack?" It's like, his name was Duke, who was living with us. And I'm like, "Oh, tell us a story." And then, oh my God, it's like inspirational what you're doing. And it's not just about me. It's I don't ever take any accolades or anything like that. I just do what I do. But yeah, it's amazing. It's so powerful. And like I say, if we can save a life with a bench, it's incredible. But the fact that it's raising so much awareness that people see it and go, "Wowee," and that's what it's all about for me.
Or it inspires people to understand what's happening in that moment when you're sat on that bench, maybe, and technically turn into somebody that's a bit of a lifeline. Absolutely. Are you feeling good?
Yeah.
Are you on this bench for a reason?
And that's when I was chatting to that guy. When he came over to me and said that, I was like, "This is amazing." Like, for the amount of thousands that I've raised over the years, if someone was to say you've saved a life, or if someone was to say, you've raised awareness, that's so much more important to me than me going, "Oh, I've raised £5,000 this year, I've raised 10 grand or whatever." But yeah, phenomenal.
But to know that domino effect has been that you made people aware of what those benches are, and they want to respond maybe to someone who sat on that bench for that purpose.
Absolutely,
that's huge.
And there's so many people. There's so many people as well that have said, how do we go about getting these benches and how much they cost? And it's awkward because a lot of it's hard work. I mean, I had to go through the parish council. It's not always easy to get a bench. But yeah, once they're out there, and I think we've got 60. I think it's about 60 plus that we've got through the country now. But we've got the ambassador of the charity is a guy called Mickey Hazard that used to play for Tottenham in the 80s, and he does a lot of the revealings. But we've got other sort of celebs. We've got Glenn Hoddle, who used to play for Tottenham. He's done bench reveals as well. So yeah, so Glenn Hoddle is my all-time favourite footballer actually, which is mad. So when I see him within the bench, I'm like, that is my absolute hero.
Yeah.
Doing one of our benches, it's my head's just like, what
yeah.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Is it predominantly men on the?
No. So the charity was formed by Mickey Hazard and his sister Michelle. Michelle's son Jay took his own life, and she wanted to set up a suicide prevention charity. and they came up with the legend on the bench. But yeah, it's not so much men are the ones. It's mainly men that do the reveals. So it's the ex-former footballers, but the amount of women and men that are there supporting it's unbelievable. And there's so many people that get involved and wear the little pin badges that we've got and everything else.
Oh, we need a pin badge.
We need a pin badge. There's me pointing. I've got a pin badge.
Yeah,
I need a
pin badge.
This is definitely something we need to get
Yeah,
behind. This is fantastic.
Yeah, loving this.
But yeah, so it's not just about the suicide prevention. It's about the mental health side as well. I mean, I recently got therapy for my own mental health, and I felt a bit of a fraud in a way because I've been fundraising for so long for various charities. I've fundraised for mental health and everything else, but yet no one knew that my mental health was shot to crap.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until this year that I was like, yeah, I need to sort
Have a look at that.
I need to have a look at this, and there's only so much crying that I can do. And yeah, since getting the therapy, and so many of my friends have opened up about their issues. I'm like, bloody hell, I've known you since we was 10, had no idea about any of this. And I think because, not saying I'm the man or anything, but because I went and got some of the help that I needed.
Yeah.
People are like, well, actually,
because you break the shame.
yeah,
And that's the shame, that's the stigma that's attached to men to actually get out there and ask for help, isn't it?
Exactly it. Yeah. So doing that has inspired a lot of.
But who better to walk his talk? Who better to walk his talk than you?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if anyone's going to take the lead of following someone, it's somebody that's advocating so hugely for such. I think no one. I don't care what anyone says. You do not realise the desperation and the most normal of reasons behind suicide. I think everyone thinks it's sometimes it's got to be something massively deep, but I think for me, I have never come across anyone that's been that desperate to have that attempt it or let alone succeed. They've had deep reasons. Sometimes they've been, it's everyday things that just pile up and pile up and pile up.
No, it's exactly it. It doesn't have to be a breakup or a loss of someone. It could just be anything. I personally know 3 people that have killed themselves. And
wow, that's mental.
Yeah, so there was one of my good friends from school who, I mean, we was talking earlier about social media, and as amazing as it is, and I use it a lot for fundraising and promoting and bits and pieces like that. But you look at it and go, "Wow, that person's got an amazing life." And one of my friends that took his own life, living in America, literally every time you saw a photo of him, it's like, "Oh my God, he's now jumping out of a helicopter. He's surfing. He's on a motorbike. He seems like he's having the best life." Killed himself.
Yeah.
Killed himself. So when one of my schoolmates went, "Have you heard about so and so?" I was like, "What about him? He's killed himself." Like, you are joking.
Yeah.
Like, that literally hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, that is horrible. And then Duke, that obviously lived with us, he had his demons and they got too much. And a lot of it's loneliness. A lot of, as soon as people are alone and feel that they've got no one to turn to, and if it's the early hours of the morning and they need support and everyone's in bed,
and there is a lot of loneliness, because I think we've touched on this a few times, that actually you can feel surrounded by people but still feel really lonely.
Person in the room.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And the other person was one of my oldest friends. His dad hung himself. Literally, took his own life. And so it's heartbreaking. I was at a bit of a state when I was probably about 19 and attempted suicide, and obviously, fortunately enough, I'm here. But anyone would have thought, why is Adam trying to do that?
Yeah.
Why would you mind me asking the question? Do you think that makes you more hyper aware to people that possibly are at that point, or do you think you do this because you can understand a lot more how people get there?
And it's a mixture, really, because obviously, although I've battled my demons and everything else, it doesn't so much mean that I know how, because everyone's different.
Yeah.
Like, we could sit here now and you can go, Adam's amazing, Lucy's amazing, Wendy's amazing. You might go home, cry your eyes out.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, where did that come from? So it's so difficult, but I just think that the most important thing is opening up. And like I said, when I had my mental therapy, my mental health therapy, that's the best thing that I've ever done personally. I
And this was what you recently.
I started, so my marriage broke down, or ended in March, and I started in April, and that was the best thing I've ever done. As soon as the marriage broke down, I remember going into work, and I work in a school, and the deputy head was like, "How you doing, Adam?" And I cried like a baby.
Yeah, the question from hell.
Cried like a baby. Just cried like a baby. Because I'm normally like quite, "How are you doing? You alright?
Yeah.
How was your weekends?" Like, I've got such a interest in people. And I
Yeah.
just went in and said, "How you doing?" And I was like,
Yeah.
and that was it. And that's when I was like, yeah, I think I need help now. There's so much trauma that I'd gone through, and everyone goes through trauma, but I just bottled mine up. And it went back from years and years and years. And the most important thing was when I was 15, and I had something when I was 15, and I never got over it.
Never got over it. Yeah,
Never got
needed to
over it.
look
And
at
I
that.
need-
And you brush it under the carpet, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just sort of go, yeah, that's all right, that's fine, that's all right. Oh,
Forget about that.
yeah, I was
And
gone.
keep building the
Yeah,
waves
no
on
one's
it. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's dead, don't worry about that. So this has happened, that's happened. Yeah, don't
Just
worry.
keep going. Just
It's
keep going.
getting scary.
And then all of a sudden it was like, bang. And then when I had my therapy session, because a lot of people said, "Adam, go and speak to a therapist." I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to sit there crying. I don't want to do that." But then when I went into work that day, and I just literally unloaded everything, or offloaded, however you want to say it, deputy head was like, "Yeah, I think you need to see someone." And then I had a triage over the phone to see if I should be having therapy. And they said, "I'll grade it out of 10 for this, out of 5 being highest, 10 being highest." And she was like, "So what about this?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a 4. What about this? Yeah, it's a 9. What about this? 4. Where do you see yourself? Like, how do you see the world without you in it?" I was like, "I didn't really notice, to be honest. I didn't really care." Not that I was suicidal, but it's just how my head was. I was like, who gives a toss about me, you know? So, like, and that's how it was. And then I had the therapy, and honestly, it was the greatest thing ever.
I think therapy works because it brings you back to yourself. Because what happens is when you get so far removed from who you are, so far removed from you mattering, you're important, that you are worth something and valued, and you keep putting yourself to the back foot, to the back foot, to the back foot, to the back foot. The further away you get from yourself, I think talking to somebody kind of almost reminds you that you have to come straight back to self, and
Totally.
and
the thing was as well is because
stop normalising what happens.
And because the therapist, I'd never met her, she didn't know anything about me. I was able to just go, "This has happened, that's happened," and it wasn't someone going, "Come on, Adam, that happened when you was 15, mate. Like, move on. Like, come on, like, yeah, we've all lost people. Don't worry about it, mate. Move." And so a lot of people, I say a lot, a few of my friends knew a little bit about my mental state and everything else, but a lot of them would have just been, "Come on."
Could I just ask you, just quickly, before you went to therapy, what your idea of what therapy would look like?
I think,
because we all have preconceived ideas,
Yeah,
and I'm
so-
just wondering what you thought it would be like.
I think it was pretty much how it was how I thought it would be.
Okay.
But my thing was, I was a bit scared to sit there and let everything out
Okay.
and cry. I was like, I can't sit there crying. I can't. I find it too scary to be going back to things and going, "This happened, blubbing. This happened, blubbing. Oh my god!" And just the sheer heartache of some of it. That was what was probably putting me off.
Yeah.
So you were scared?
Yes, I was. Yeah, petrified.
Yeah.
Petrified. This was before like the marriage breakup, because I had so many things in my head that I was battling all the time, but not many people knew it. Only those real close to me that would say, "Adam, you need to speak to someone." I'm all right, I'm fine. But and then when I went in there, and obviously, literally the first session, cried like a baby I was in there about 50 minutes and cried for about 46. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't just sitting there crying, I was talking, but I was crying and crying. I needed to let it out. And then she said, "Right, so where do you want to start?" I started with the third when I was 15, and something that happened when I was 15, which was going blind and being told that I could be blind for the rest of my life, and my eyesight came back, but then my whole life completely changed after that day.
No wonder you needed to cry. Your central nervous system must have been absolutely pinging.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's, and that crying lets that. I mean, like that's. But what can I just say? Like, can I just say, I find it incredible. We're talking about losing your sight. We're talking about losing somebody that you'd cared for a long time. You've talked about your dad dying. Can I just point out they're not small things? You know, like they're not small things.
Yeah.
Why are we normalising that? Why aren't we talking about that?
Yeah.
Why don't people realise that what's this thing with men and women, just in people in general, need to be like, they need to sort that out, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask if, you know, like you said, oh yeah, I had loads of things going inside my head. Could you really identify why, or how did it manifest? How did it come out for you? Just so that people, because I think sometimes oh well, I know that because this happened 15 years ago, but I only know that because I went to therapy, and I was like, oh, that's why I behave like that, or that's why I do that. So
no,
I wondered for you.
So with the eyesight thing, because my life completely changed. I mean, I was from probably the age of about 3 years old. I was just football, and I was bloody good at football. And then I lost my eyesight. My eyesight came back really slow. So I've got damaged optic nerve, so I'll never be able to drive. I can't see clear enough from a distance, but because of the nerve damage, there's no lens that'll fix that.
What caused that?
Caught the flu off my mum. Yeah, caught the flu off my mum. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So basically, caught the flu off my mum, and then it made me get like a pain in my eye. And I remember going to football one Sunday, so I was playing Sunday league football, and all of a sudden, I woke up in the morning, I couldn't see out my right eye. It was like completely blind, like nothing, no light, no anything. And I played football for about 20 seconds, and my friend passed the ball, and I went running onto it, and I was like, can't see anything, can't see. So I had a shot, and I said to the manager and to the coach, whatever you want to call him, I said, I need to come off, I can't see properly. He's like, really? I said, yeah, I can't actually see out of this eye. And then, went to Maidstone Eye Hospital, and they said, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what's going on? You're 15, you shouldn't be happening. And then I went home, and then my parents got a phone call to say that I needed to go to St Thomas Hospital in London, and then driving up to St Thomas Hospital in the car with blind and mother, literally in the car.
Oh wow, scary.
Yeah, so I went from being able to see perfect 20/20 vision to not being able to see out of that way, to then on the way to London not being able to see out of either. Wow. And yeah, my parents were told that I'll be blind for the well. They said that if they was trying all these tests and said if this doesn't work, then he will be blind for the rest of his life. But the thing was, because I was like, this is what I want to be. I wanted to be a footballer. I wanted to be a sports journalist. That's my thing. And then I couldn't play football anymore, so that was gone. So that messed up my head. I was like, that's all I know. That's all I know. I used to walk past the roll of sellotape and do like 50 key guppies with it. I was just obsessed with football. And then I never got over that. Never ever got over. And I mean, a lot of people would go, yeah, but your eyesight came back, so you should go, yeah, but you're lucky that you can see. So if that happened now, so obviously I'm 43, I've experienced a lot. If it was happening now, I'd be like, wow, like I'm living now. But I was 15.
And that was your life.
And that was my life. And then
that's from a small child, like that little child,
yeah,
to know even what you want and to want it that bad that you were, like the repetition and putting the work in to get that good at that age, to have that taken off you.
And that was it.
Like,
I made loads of new friends because all my friends were still playing football. And it broke my heart that they were playing football and I couldn't. Oh. So I was like, a lot of my friends would probably think he ditched us for others, but it wasn't like that at all.
It was heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking because they were playing football. If this was at school, they were playing football at lunchtime or after school, and I was good. And if I played, I was terrible. I couldn't see the ball coming. I'd be like, balls hitting me. I'm like, this is embarrassing.
How frustrating.
And then I was like, I need to find new friends because this is too much.
Yeah.
So, many apologies to my friends that ever think that I ditched them, but I didn't.
I think, like, the judgment that you think, oh, well, that happened, I should be grateful I got my sight back. But who's judging us? Yeah. Who's saying we should be grateful for this and we should be ungrateful for that and we should feel this about this? Because actually, you losing your sight is how your experience, and I think we need to ram home to everybody that your experience is yours and how you feel in those experiences.
How you
feel.
And
everyone's different. Like I could lose my dad and I'll to be honest with you, I'd probably do a little happy dance and probably have a 3-week bender. But that's not going to be the same for everyone else.
Oh yeah.
So
When
I think we need to normalise that actually experiences
are individual.
and to you, and you can feel exactly how you want to feel.
Yeah. When you said about losing your dad. When I lost my dad was my absolute hero.
Yeah.
And when my dad got diagnosed with cancer, Halloween, when was it? 2018, and then he died November 29th. So he had it less than a month. So he literally.
Wow. Was it cancer?
Cancer, yeah.
And
me and my brother, we hadn't spoken for 7 years. We hadn't spoken to my dad for years, and then we got back in contact, and then he started seeing mum and dad again, and my sister, and then dad died, and that was that was heartbreaking, and then you have to be strong for everyone else because you don't like the kids have obviously lost their granddad and everything else, and mum's lost her husband, but you still got to be sort of as strong as you can be. But that was heartbreaking. That was awful. Literally, my hero just died.
Yeah.
But then there's been other things. There's a lot more. I only said like three key things. There's more than that. So I don't obviously need to go into detail. But my ex-wife, I found her dad dead in bed. So there's been loads and loads of things that over the years have just built up, but because of obviously the eyesight thing from so long ago, I just kept on to them, just like, oh, that's all right, that can stand in the back of my head. And like I say, when the marriage broke down, that was it. It was like, shit, the bed. This is all coming out now. I can't keep hold of this stuff anymore. Yeah. And I think since having the therapy, after the first session, like people might have thought, why do you want to do that again? You've literally just cried. Like, I was like, yeah, but they're not all going to be like that. They're not all going to be me crying. But then there'll be a little. And the therapist was amazing. She was just subtle things that she would say, and it'd be wow.
Light bulb moments. Yeah. Light bulb moments.
Yeah, full on light bulb moment. I'm like, so that's why I think the way I think. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I am the way I am.
Yeah.
Why do I do that? Who's judging me? Adam. Yeah. No one else is judging me. I'm judging myself because I'm thinking, Lucy's thinking, you look like this. Wendy, Adam looks like that. And that was me. I'd be looking at you now. Old Adam would have been sitting there now like, I wouldn't have been able to do this ages ago anyway. I'd be petrified. But I'd be sitting there thinking, if people are looking at me on camera, are they going to think, oh my God, Adam's got one eyebrow bigger than the other, he's got one ear bigger than the other, his trousers are white and his shoes are white. Whereas now, it's just, life's too short.
But I think the universe knew exactly who they were picking when they chose you to be this person, to show up for people that are in that moment of desperation. They knew exactly who they chose. I think you're amazing. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. And regardless of whether you will take that compliment or not, right, I'm going to say it because, somebody who has a story, who doesn't realise they have a story, that has never ever stopped trying to find solutions or a way forward is definitely the light that people need to see. Yeah. Definitely was meant to be you. They did not get that wrong.
Yeah. And I think just raising that awareness so much and how much impact that has already and potentially for the future as well.
Yeah. I'm a massive believer in fate. So on my last therapy session, the therapist said to me, Adam, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So that's easy. I said, I'm going to be on the beach in Miami, getting ready to go and watch Miami Dolphins play NFL. And she sort of looked at me like, all right, you sure? Miami's quite a distance. Yeah. And I said, you wait. I said, I promise you now, like, shake on it. Yeah. I said, you'll get a message from me or a photo from me. I said, have your number. I said, don't change your number. I said, you'll get it. And it's really weird because I go to watch Tottenham Hotspur play. I'm not a Tottenham fan.
Might not be with you.
I'm coming out now. I'm not a Tottenham fan. I'm Chelsea. But I go to watch Spurs through the charity. I've made friends with this guy called Mike, who's an absolute legend. He's in a wheelchair and he's in his 60s, but he's one of the nicest people you can ever meet. And so through the charities, we become good pals. And he's like, if anyone that comes to Tottenham, come up. Don't have to pay. I'll put you in as my carer. happy days, brilliant. Here we go. We'll watch some games. We went 1 week, and these 2 blokes were there. I think one was probably 15, but apologies if he wasn't. And his son, 30s, mid 20s, and we was chatting away, and Mike went, "Oh, this is Andreas and this is Somar. They're from Miami." And I was like, "All right." I said, "That's amazing. Like, why are you watching Spurs?" "Oh, we're originally from Honduras. There's a player that used to be from Tottenham that's from Honduras. Had this story. We don't know where we're going. All right, we'll show you around Spurs. Happy days." Didn't think anything of it. And then obviously when I had the therapy, he said about Miami once again. Didn't even think about them. Then a little while ago, I got a message on Messenger from Andreas saying, "I'm inspired by your fundraising. How's Mike doing? Is he still doing his fundraising?" "Yeah. When are you next going to Spurs?" "Yeah, I'm going to watch Spurs. Just went the weekend, just gone." I said, "I'm going again in November." And he said, "Oh, brilliant. I'm going to the one in November. When I come to England, can I come and watch your football match? Because we play football every Sunday. I've got me and my mate sorted out 7-a-side. We do it for building up a community. We do it for mental health, really. And playing football. We love football." So anyway, Andreas said to me, "Yeah, I want to film you. I want to do an interview," because he does a lot of work in Miami. He used to work for Miami Dolphins and into Miami football team. So
Of course he is.
yeah. So anyway, I didn't even think of it. And then he said, once, and I hadn't even thought about what I said at my therapy session. I'm just having a conversation.
That's because the universe has got you back.
Yeah, and then we was chatting away, and he said, "Oh, I want to come and film. I want to do this and I want to do that, and I'm going to share it on my socials. We'll share it in Miami. We'll put it on YouTube. Blah blah blah. This is how it's going to look amazing." And I was like, "Hang on a minute, Miami therapy." So I told him the story. He said, "Yeah, you can come and stay whenever you want. I'm half an hour from Miami Stadium." I was like, "What?"
Who's waiting 10 years, baby?
That's right. What the absolute? I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what is this? But there's been so many things.
But you meant it though. When in that moment, you meant what you said.
And you chose you. You chose you in that moment as well. I've got to drive this home to people. You've got to choose you.
Yeah.
You've got to. It's what helps. It's part of the cure. It's part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. But there's another story as well. So when I had my interview for the Make a Difference Award, this lady from Radio Kent, so she'd done a film and then she'd done an interview, and it's like 4 minutes long, and it was played on Radio Kent. No disrespect, but I don't really ever listen to the radio. I'm not saying Radio Kent's not very good. I don't listen to it. I don't listen to any radio stations. So she messaged me saying it was on the breakfast show. Have you listened to it? I said, "No, I don't really listen to the radio at all." And she said, "Oh, I'll send you the link." I was like, "All right, cool." She sent me the whole breakfast show, which is like 4 hours long. But where's my interview? So I'm going through. So I'm sitting with my daughter Molly, and I get to this song. It's like, "Molly, me and you love that song. It's like amazing. We listen to this all the time." And then I found the interview, and he listened to it. Amazing. And then I said to Molly, I said, "Let's go through the songs." So we started at the beginning. First song, "Sweet Caroline," which was the song played at Duke's funeral.
Wow.
So, oh my God. So straight away, I messaged one of Duke's best friends, rang him up. I've said, "You're not going to believe this." Like, listen, he's like, "Oh my God, this is meant to be. This is insane, mental." So then I find another song. So Molly, me and you used to listen to that, brilliant. Then I find a song. The song was "Guess That's Why They Call It the Blues" by Elton John. In year 7 in music, my music class sang "Guess That's Why They Call It the Blues." In my music class was my mate that killed himself from America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that played. So then I messaged my mate going, "You're not going to believe what song they played now." He's like, "This is insane." So I carried on listening to more. Then there was another song. I was like, "Oh my God, another one." And then my dad's the last song they played, my dad's all-time favourite album, Dire Straits, "Salt and Swing," last song. Salt and Swing.
No way.
Oh my God.
I was like, so it was almost like she sent me that breakfast show for me to go, all these people are looking out for me.
Just to show you, sometimes you have purpose and you don't even realise that you have purpose. And it's almost like they're all giving you the thumbs up, like, this is what you're bang on path for what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah, it's honestly, I don't think I've ever got upset listening to a radio show. I was like, oh my god, this is.
Oh, wow.
I just couldn't believe it. Like every time a song came on, it was something that was of relevance to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, and I listened to this. Oh my god, and then they played that song, and I remember listening to that because I've got memory like an elephant, so I can tell you a bit autistic. I think, like, I can say, oh, the first time I heard that song, I was so and so, and then they played that song. Oh, that was played on the night that I wanted to kill myself. It was just.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's mad. So if ever you wanted to know that they were seeing you and seeing what you was doing, that was it.
Mad, absolutely.
I love that kind of evidence, that confirmation that you're definitely on the right path.
Yeah.
And I think when you are with you can see all that.
Yeah, I think you can massively.
When you're disconnected and you're like, your head's everywhere, you don't see all those little synchronicities and signs that, you're on the right track. All you see is chaos.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you look, until this is all sorted and you're back in yourself, you can open to see all of those things around you.
Before it probably would have been, Sweet, what's it called, Sweet Caroline, for Duke. But all the others, I wouldn't have thought, oh my god, that reminds me of so and so from music club. But because my head's so clear now, so different, and see the world differently. I'm like, yeah.
So just one thing I want to touch on was crying. You mentioned crying quite a lot, and I know stereotypically men don't cry. No, which is great. But what do you think holds people back from crying?
I don't know. I think it's probably that stigma, like you said, that men don't cry.
Yeah.
Like at school, if you cry, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
You're a wimp. What are you crying for? Get up, you dickhead.
Yeah.
And then you take that through your adulthood because you think, so and so when we was doing PE, when I fell over and really hurt my knee and started crying, they said that I was a wimp. So I don't want people to think that I'm a wimp. I don't cry like I used to. But I could watch a film. I'm quite sensitive and be like, oh my god, welling up. And people might look at me and go, why are you crying over that? I'm like, what do you mean why am I crying over that? It's emotional.
And your first session of 46 minutes, you said, 46 minutes you stopped for out of 50-minute session. What was it like to be able to have that time just to cry and let it all out?
I left there feeling like, I'm naturally thin anyway, but I left there feeling like I was made of air. Like I could just light, because it was just, and even when I spoke to people and said how it went, I was like, so tell me about it. I said, I just cried. I'm like, well, you going to go again? I said, yeah, I'm going to definitely 1,000,000% go again. Like if she was to say come back tomorrow, I'd go back.
Yeah.
I said because I just needed to get it out, and I just needed to go over so many things and just be like, look, I'm going to cry because my dad's dead. I'm going to cry because this happened. I'm going to cry because that happened. I'm going to cry because my brother didn't talk to me for so long. I'm going to cry because this happened. Cry because that happened. And it just came out. And then the next time I went in, I cried a little bit, but then it was just able to listen more rather than me just go, oh my god, like, this has happened.
I think that's really powerful, to be that safe in that moment, in that hour with that person, and be able to just let it go. That is really powerful. I don't think that makes anybody weak. I don't think it takes it takes a powerful person to be able to open up those channels and let that come out personally.
Vulnerability is strength.
Yeah, massively.
I see it. I see things totally different now. Like I say, if someone was to say to me, would you advise someone getting therapy if they needed it? 100,000,000%. Like, I'm not saying we're all different. There's, like I say, some people might be like, the cost of living nowadays is too much for them and they can't cope and everything else. But there's others that have had trauma, like I've had, and other bits and pieces. But I definitely just don't be scared. Just talk to anyone. If you don't want to talk to a therapist, but you feel like you need to talk to someone. If one of my mates was struggling, I'd rather them ring me up at 1 o'clock in the morning than me get a phone call at 8 o'clock in the morning to say so and so's done himself in, so and so's done this.
Yeah.
And it just be like, mate, just talk. And if you want to cry, if you want to go for a 3-hour-long walk in the woods somewhere, and you just want to vent, do it. I'll be happy to listen. If you want to go and sit on the bench in Wainscott, let's go down there and just. I don't need to talk. You just vent and let it all out.
Yeah. Again, though, that's making yourself a priority. For someone to pick up the phone and go, I need help. That's a big thing say that I'm a great, I need someone now, isn't it?
Mm.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough to do.
Yeah. But that's it. And like I say, for me, I struggled for so long, but eventually I was like, right now I need to do it. And I don't have any regrets that I didn't do it sooner, because I think my life would have been completely different had I done it sooner. I think if I would have had the light bulb moments that I had, I don't think half the things would have happened and the people that I've met.
It's unfolded as it should have.
It was meant to be. I was meant to meet that person to do this, meant to meet that person to do that.
Yeah.
These are the things. And it's really strange, because there was a guy that I used to play football with when we was 15, and I only played with him, playing football-wise, for about six months, maybe less. And I was in Wainscott, and I'd only just come out of my marriage breakup, and I was with my son, who's 9. This bloke drove past me and shouted out, "Ad." I was like, "Who the hell was that?" And he pulled up and was like, "Lee Mills." He's like, "Yeah." So, and I was like, "Bloody hell, I haven't seen you since Cliff Wells. How you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." He's like, "What about you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. Like, life's all right. Just split up with your wife, but other than that, I'm all right." It's like, "Just split up with your wife?" I'll get out of the car and have a chat. He went, "Just to let you know, I only stopped because one of my sons, Casey, it's like an ongoing thing that he looks like Jim Carrey. So he's like, that looks like Jim Carrey, that must be Adam's son." So he got out, we chatted, and he said, "Oh, how you been? Other than this." And I said,
Your son looks like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, my son.
Love that.
My son looks like Jim Carrey. Not so much now. At times when you sort of look at him and go, "Yeah, that's Ace Ventura right there." But yeah, so we were chatting away, and then he said, "So what's going on?" I said, "Oh, I'm do fundraising, I'm part of this, and I've got a bench coming in," because we was at that park, because it's really weird. And then he said, "Oh, we was kicking a football around, me, him and my son, where the bench is now," which is really strange thinking about it. And then it was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll come along to the bench review. When is it?" I said, "Oh, it's in 2 weeks," or whatever it was. I said, "I'll just let you know I'm doing a charity football match in May. A couple of people dropped out. Do you want to play?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll play." I was like, "I haven't played football with you for years and years and years." And then after the football match, he came up to me and said, "Oh, I've got a video for you." And he showed me this video. It was a message from a guy called Scott Minto, who used to play for Chelsea. And it was a message from him saying, "Congratulations, Adam, on your fundraising. Scott Minto here." Like, "Oh, bloody hell. But sorry, I can't be with you. You're an inspiration. Lee says you're an amazing guy." And like, oh my God, like another thing that's amazing. And then since then, me and Lee, we set up the football on a Sunday, and we've got loads of bits that we want to do, fundraising and joining together. And yeah, it's mad how things work out. Where like I say, I've not gone for a walk that morning, or not ended up breaking up.
They just keep dropping these gems in your path, don't they?
And he's it's mad. It's absolutely mental.
Still got Adam on a sleep out yet though. Been trying for the last couple of years.
I will.
Next year.
Come and add to you, do I will.
Yeah, I will. No, I will do it. I will do it. It's obviously it's normally on the day I'm working, so but yeah, I will definitely
Yeah.
eventually.
So when we're on that subject, now you've committed, I'm going to say 2026.
Yeah.
26, yeah.
2026.
Sleep
Right,
out,
me and you.
Right.
That's fine.
But what's next for you? What's going on? What are you trying to do at the moment? What are you trying to achieve? What can people do to help you? Come on.
Well, it's fundraising.
Okay. And how do they find you?
So I've got a GoFundMe page, which is on my socials. Ad Palmer, I think.
We'll share that.
You share my GoFundMe. So I do years of fundraising. So a year worth of fundraising. So I do events all through the year. I do quizzes, football matches, auctions, raffle. I'm doing a mini raffle at the moment. I've got a couple of signed books from Julian Dix that used to play for West Ham. He sent me a couple of paperback books. I've got loads of football programs from Tottenham players. So whenever there's an event where it's an evening with whoever, I get them signed. I do mini raffles for them. I've got a Christmas raffle that I'm getting prizes for at the moment. I'm up to 35 prizes. The raffle will be done live on Facebook.
I'll donate to that.
That will be.
Yeah, I was going to say we can get some donations.
Yeah, so that will be end of November. We'll do that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm doing bits all the time, and then next year will be the same sort of thing. But since I've been doing the football on a Sunday, the friendship base and community, I suppose, has got massive. So there's people that I didn't know 6 months ago that started playing football because they're friends of friends, and now they've become good friends of mine, and they're, "Adam, you're an inspiration, you're this, and we love what you're doing." And I'm going to join team forces, like I say, with my friend Lee, and we're going to put on bits and pieces together. And yeah, it's going to be massive. We're going to get more benches. I'm going to get more benches around sort of Medway and Kent, Maidstone, wherever.
Why don't we do a bench? Why don't we fundraise for a bench around here?
Yeah, we can do that.
We're coming to join you.
Yeah, join forces. And then we do the charity. So the last charity walk that I've done, I walked from Sittingbourne Stadium, which is where we've done one of our previous football matches, to the Wainscott. So it was only 15 miles, I think. But yeah, that was the walk that we've done. But before, I walked from Charlton Athletic Stadium to Ebbsfleet Stadium to Gillingham Stadium, and that was 31 miles by the time we'd done the walk.
Mm.
And that I was literally walking like Robocop for about 3 months after that.
Bless you.
Might do something a little less adventurous,
but
we do stuff all the time. I mean, it doesn't have to be, where some people jump out of an aeroplane and bits like that. If I was to do that, no disrespect, but because of the things I do all year round, I've raised no money because people support me. I do scratch cards all the time. So once a month I do a scratch card. So it's like £5 a football team, winner gets £100, £100 goes into the GoFundMe. And where I'm obviously doing other bits like playing football, doing walks, doing this, doing auctions, doing raffles, a lot of the same people support me all the time. So if I was to say, I'm jumping out of an aeroplane, they'd be like, yeah, but I bought 3 teams with the scratch card last week. Like, how much money do you think I've got? So I'll be jumping out of an aeroplane and literally thinking, I've jumped out of an aeroplane before though. So.
Yeah, but other people can get on board, and anyone listening to this, you might be surprised. Someone might come forward and have something for you. Where's your football? Where's the football that you do?
We do that at Chatham Town Stadium. Okay. Yeah, do that at Chatham Town, which is brilliant. So one of the reasons we started doing the Sunday football was because I was only playing in one charity game a year. So I was doing no running. I walk a lot. I was doing no running, no exercise, no football, apart from like maybe a kick about in a park or whatever with my kids. But that's not overexerting myself. I'm literally just chipping the ball up and volleying it from 25 yards at a goal. But then in the last one, I was like, how on earth am I supposed to run from that end and pitch the other when I could run in across the and knacking me out? And I played in the game and I was knackered. I was absolutely knackered. But I didn't enjoy the game because I put too much pressure on myself because I organise everything, so I do all of it. Get the kits, get the people together, get the stadium, get this, get that, make sure. So I'm like, I've got to make sure everything's all right, as well as try and play in the game. So
we're pretty good organisers.
Yeah, we can.
So I've got come along. Yeah, I've got a lot of people that are willing to help out now, so it's good. But yeah, I've got.
I'll see you next Tuesday. Repertoire.
Yeah, repertoire. Yeah. See you next Tuesday. Yeah. Why not? It's coming on. But yeah, so it's and playing football since I've been playing on a Sunday, I generally feel like I'm 15 again when I'm playing.
Yeah.
Which is like takes me back to
your inner child is getting fed.
Which is really weird because when we played football at school, it was called the cage. It was like fed stuff. Sounds like we're not animals.
No.
But it was like football in the cage, and when we play at Strew Sports Centre, it's all caged off. So it's almost like I walk through those gates and I'm like 15 again. I put my boots on and I'll run around like an absolute lunatic and I'll shoot from anywhere and I'll pass all over the place. And people are like, Ad, your pass is amazing. Your shooting is so accurate. And before I would have been like, shut up. Like, no, it's not. But now I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
so 15-year-old attitude's there as well.
15-year-old Adam comes out on a Sunday morning.
I love that.
Everyone needs to see that in a child.
And that's it. And I feel incredible. And I walk off of there, regardless of scoreline or whatever, and just be like, that was amazing, guys. See you next week. And we love it. Yeah. And you got guys coming up to you saying, thanks for what you're doing. So to some people, it's just a game of football, but to others, they know what the purpose is, and it is literally getting out of the house, sorting out your mental health, and not saying everyone goes there struggling, but the amount of people that I've spoken to since I've spoke about my mental health that I've known for years that are now ads that like, this happened to me, that what? Like, I've struggled. Really?
You started the conversation.
Why the hell have you struggled? Like, seriously. And yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. But like I say, the community that me and my pals are building is amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah,
so proud. Like, super proud.
Good.
So should be.
Super proud. Whereas before, like I've raised since I've been doing fundraising, 32 grand over the years for charities. I've raised 12 for Legend on the Bench. Whereas before it would have just been like, yeah, I'm just doing fundraising. It's cool. Really appreciate. I'm so thankful for the donation. So thankful for the prize. So thankful for this. So thankful for that. Whereas now I look at it and go, bloody hell, man, you've actually you've done well, mate. You've grafted for it. But because every day I'm doing something fundraising based, it might just be sending 20 emails for a prize or whatever. But I'm always doing every day. I'm doing something fundraising related. So I love it. Yeah, I love it. So,
well, you are an inspiration to all, and let's hope you being on this podcast not only gets you donations, but creates some more conversations.
For me, it's not about donations. It's not about money. It's about people being able to speak and not bottle things up and not be scared, because it can be quite daunting. Like I said, when you're sitting there and you're crying your eyes out for 46 minutes, it is hard, but worth it. I look at myself now, and my whole adult life, I battled and battled and battled, and then other things came along, and other things came along, and other things came along, and now I just see the world completely different. And I'm not saying I'm going to go out and hug a tree. I'm not doing anything like that, but I just see things differently.
I do that.
But yeah, I feel so positive about people and my future, and I've never set any goals, never ever set a goal for myself, and now I'm setting goals, ticking them off, and loving life.
I want you to come back
and
after you've been to Miami Dolphins.
Exactly.
It could be doing it live from Miami. Could be.
Yeah, let's do this.
Should we all go to Miami?
Beautiful. I get this moment. No.
It's all good. But yeah, I'll definitely come back and let you know what's going on.
Yeah, keep us updated, and we'll come and join you.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate today. This is like I said before, we would not have been able to do this 6 months ago.
Was it that bad?
No, I felt great. Yeah, it felt great.
Good.
It felt easy. I mean, I waffle anyway. I could talk, and I didn't feel.
I think everything that you've been through has just been leading you up to what you've been doing.
Yeah.
I think you're incredible, and I think the fact that it takes superhuman, like, what's the word? Like guts to actually speak out loud against the norms, right? And as for somebody I am constantly disliked for it, but to be honest with you, speaking your truth just allows other people.
I think his delivery is a little bit better than yours.
Yeah. It's delivery.
It's delivery, yeah. So what you say, it's deliver it, babe.
Yeah, no, yeah, probably, yeah. But this, I mean, it just opens the path for other people to do so.
It does.
And like I say, that's the most important thing for me. It's like, I don't care if I raise £100,000, but if someone was to say I sat on one of your benches and they stopped me from hanging myself on a tree, that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, raising the money is amazing and it gets more benches out there. And that's, vitally important, but it's saving a life. And honouring Duke's life, Duke was a huge, but I think about him every day, like, not when he first died, when it's sad, but I think about him like, that guy was so funny and amazing. And when I do my fundraising, I'm like, yeah, he's looking down on me and everything else.
How old was Duke?
23. 23.
And how did you come across Duke?
So we did supported living. So after foster caring, there's a thing called supported living, and me and my ex-wife done that. And he was the first person we had. And yeah, my kids saw him as big brother. And he said to me once, he said, I see you as, you're like a dad to me. And I said, yeah, you're like a son to me, dude. Yeah. And we just had such a bond. And he laughed at my jokes all the time. So which encouraged me to tell more lame jokes.
Yeah.
And he was amazing at football, amazing at everything. And
so he really did just slot in, didn't he?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, my eldest son Charlie, he still misses it now. He still struggles a little bit, bless him. Stopped playing football. He was amazing. I was good at football. Charlie's amazing at football. But he doesn't play anymore because of Duke. So stop playing.
He might one day.
He plays my charity games.
Yeah.
Plays my charity games. But doesn't stick out because he's 15, but he's got a beard and looks about 25.
Yeah.
He's well old.
Yeah, I've got a 12-year-old that looks 27.
Yeah, it was well old. So yeah, but the kids loved him, and he was just amazing. So honouring his life is what I do a lot of fundraising for, is to honour his life, honour Ken's life from school, and my mates don't feel honouring his life like, they deserve to be remembered, not just for people that took their own life, but for what they were before that.
Yeah.
And you're
Love
doing
that.
a bloody good job of it.
Yeah, amazing job.
Well done,
Amazing
you.
job.
And yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Pleasure.
Definitely. Make sure I put the link
We will
to the
link.
fundraising for you.
Put the links on.
And we will see you guys
Next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.